Hello everybody. So, I'm here in the middle of something, but we're not gonna stay long in this sad little realm anymore. So, hope you all had a fine day so far. Okay. Oh, there's an emblem. I'm gonna grab that before I leave. So, what's new? I finally finished, or mostly finished my Windrunner combo. So, let's see. I want to have a look on my perks one more time to see whether or not I'm using the things I want to use like I use them. Just want to check if there are new options that I haven't noticed yet. So, more benefit from my stat slots. Well, I'm using that mostly. I'm using some with health. I should probably turn that off. So, more speed gain. Yeah. Can't lose stats. More netherstone power. Well, I wish I had more netherstones. So, my creatures take less damage the more speed they got. Well, okay. Okay. I don't think that there's anything that I'm too worried about here. So let's go to the highest instabilities and have some fun. I hope it's gonna work out fine. So I changed basically everything that I had yesterday. So in its core, it is a very similar build to yesterday, but it's still I changed a lot of the moving parts. So basically, every creature is configured to cast a spell that makes everybody attack, and whenever somebody attacks, this bat unleashes an AoE, and whenever somebody attacks, the bat grows stronger. That's the short version of it. Hey, Arigist, welcome. So far, things were working out really well for this one. So, after that very underwhelming performance of yesterday, I couldn't stop tinkering around with that one. Oh, you were too busy grinding for the last tutorial game. Did you make it? Did you kill the tutorial boss? So who had that buffet skill again? So, well, let's go for reincarnation. This is such a nice spell. Should really consider spamming that a wee bit more. Okay. I'm gonna explain a little bit more about that build that I set up, but I want to wait for a couple of the guys more. Unsurprisingly, nope, still lack about 20 levels, still okay. Yeah, I remember that I had a lot of problems with that first boss when I was there too. I really had a lot of problems with that dude. So target is killed and then resurrected. This mechanic works because I got one critter that deals a big AoE whenever one of my creatures is being resurrected. So that's why this is an interesting spell for me. Yeah, you can overall just overrun that enemy at some point with just with stats. But you should definitely check out what's the issue and why you're losing, because more than likely there could be something that you could improve on, you know? Probably you can take him down quicker, that's all I'm trying to say. But then again, it doesn't matter how long you take until you kill the final boss of the story, because you will need all the resources that you grind up anyways, so Power level search quickly in mid-game. Yeah, well, you get punished real quickly for for a certain lack of things in your build. Because the big problem in the early game is that it's nearly impossible that you got the necessary resources to set up a really stable build. Like, you don't have that many resources. You don't, like brimstone alone for all the artifacts. You don't have the trade resources to just create whatever you want to create. There's a lot of things that just hold you back from creating a team that you want to create at that point. And I really remember that I had a lot of problems with that one too. So here, let's fire in some buffet in between. Why are these guys ignoring my debuffs? How is that possible? Why are they all doing that? I mean, why is that so? This looks almost as if it is part of the realm's bonus property. Because I got that stoning effect to stop my enemies from dodging. I don't get that. Why is it blocked? Yeah, well, I'm gonna forfeit this one. There's no need to weigh myself down with that. Because, simply said, I actually got something to turn it off, but I didn't understand why. That property was not working out. So there's, well, extra traits. I don't like extra traits. So, less indirect damage. It should be horrible. I don't want that. I can't avoid that. So, strong against death. Well, that is a little bit bothersome, but I also run off every resource with power. Yeah. What I'm talking about. But the good news is you still have a lot of parts where you can improve your team on. It grows worse and worse when you're running out of things to improve on. You know. But glad to hear that you like the game as well. I really enjoy Siralim a lot. So here we go. That's how it should look like. The dodge thing was really bothering me. I still haven't fully understood why these enemies were able to ignore certain of these status effects. But, well, this game is so overloaded with different effects sometimes. It's just hard to discern why things are happening like they're happening. So let's go off the macros, because the spells I'm using to make everybody attack, to trigger the bonuses more often, they have the characteristic that they trigger weak attacks. Like, I make my whole team attack, but it's only a 50% power slap. So when there's only a couple of enemies left that are highly resistant, it is better to manually attack. Here we go, robots. These are new. But overall, I'm really happy to see how this whole thing turned out. It was a pretty long grind until I have found out what I need to replace to make everything work. I'm still not completely happy. There's a couple of things that I really want to exchange, and there's also a couple of things where I feel like there's a little bit room for improvement, or even a lot of room for improvement. So I'm not really happy with my Alpha Strike. It takes really long for that team to wind up, as you can see. The enemy dies ultimately, and the HP bars of my team don't even move most of the time. That's a good sign. But it really need a lot of time to take everybody down. That's a little bit bothersome. Okay. Magic items of power. Oh, new decorational items. And still, I didn't have I didn't have found success in beating the next nether boss. That dude still keeps blocking me. Alright. It's really noticeable that my enemies are strong against death and have 214% extra defense. And resilience. Laspa, hey there. So happy to see you. Welcome. Can you guys stop resurrecting and just stay dead, please? Okay, so at this point, my team looks something like that. We have really extremely improved stats, like a couple of 100,000 in many areas. So that's pretty good. And once the build is at that point, usually I win everything. If I lose right now, I'm getting stopped in that wind-up phase. But after the wind-up phase, this build hasn't lost a single fight ever. Still got some trouble to get it to that point where it just stupidly stacks base stats on the creatures, because that's what Windrunners seem to do. Coolest part about this build is that I managed to get a mechanic rolling that puts my creatures on top of the timeline when they get healed, or well, they have a chance whenever they get healed. Hyorin, hey there, welcome. So happy to see you. So, we're going to I'm going to introduce the moving parts of that build in a couple of minutes, now that also Hyorin finally found his way here. I was waiting for that, because yesterday when I set up that build, everything was horrible, and wait a sec, my dudes are dying. So let's go for that reincarnation trick. Let's see how much boom I can do. Okay. Why do we suffer so much here, actually? Somebody seems to have... Okay, I gotta check out the battle log. Woo! So where did all that damage come from? I wish there would be a way of scrolling faster than that. Is there a way? Does anybody know? I don't know what killed my creatures, but since I have so many stat gain thingies, so here, the enemy Raven Blood Mage attacks for 175k. Spell cost for 100k. So, well, they gained a massive amount of stats from cannibalistic tendencies, so that's what happened there. They massively stat boosted each other. So let's go for Spellcast and Requiem. Why do people keep dying whenever I go for Resurrect here? That's what I'm wondering about. Okay, so... let's see. Ow. Let's go for a real resurrection there. So yeah, that's extreme base stats on the enemies, I guess. Okay. Can we kill something here? Please. Jeez. So there are always these oddities of combinations that just kick ass and put you into severe pressure. But yeah, now we're running into stable waters again. Like I said, there's this moment where I get overrun at some point. If the enemies basically have a quicker stat scaling than me. that's where I die. So I need to speed up my stat scaling somehow. I guess that's what's the problem right now. As you can see here now we're in safe waters again. Don't know why cannibalistic tendencies gave everybody such an insane push of stats, but there's so many traits in this game. It's hard to keep everything in your memory. So hello, guys. So what's messing up me up here so hard? Well, always critical damage, extra attack 231%. Probably the enemies are hitting a little bit harder here. I'm quite surprised that that these problems didn't occur any time earlier. It's like that explains a lot why stuff's hurting so hard here. That one gives stats per kill. Well, if that's the case, that would be a good explanation, because a lot of my peeps died over at my side. Yeah, okay, we definitely survived the initial impact. Yeah. So that's working out better than I thought. I mean, the thing is here, it's still not as fast as I want it to be. But I haven't set up a single team yet that was able to run tier 5 instabilities really, really quickly. Like, they always needed some time to get the job done. So, now what I built here, let's go over that. So, I was playing with that Hemomancer dude here. I like the idea of stealing enemies' defenses and transferring them, softening up the enemy, and improving my own stats. We always have leeching and more healing, and when we get healed, gain a rep. Because these two here in combination always have leeching and get a buff whenever you're healed. It's just a buff fest. I like that combo. So this one is the core of my damage. After an ally attacks, okay, that's not the core of my damage, but this is a really, really nice thing to get some healing going. And here, that's what I'm talking about. After an ally attacks, it deals damage equal to a part of its speed, and after an ally attacks, its creature gains speed. This combo is self-propelling, and it's really, really good so far. So after an enemy casts a spell, this dude attacks. Very good synergy with that one, because spell-casting enemies are just a good thing now. And after this dude attacks, he's stealing enemies' attack intelligence. This is a similar trait of that one. It's also a Hemomancer trait. Like, that's debuffing and stat buffing at the same time. I like that a lot. And after my creatures are resurrected, enemies take damage equal to this dude's speed, part of the speed. So that's the one why I like resurrecting people. So we got the Vivifier here. After this dude attacks, he resurrects a random ally. I really like this as a backbone for autonomous resurrection. I don't know if we really want to stick to this one. This is more of a part-time solution to get the resurrection thing resolved, but well. Carnal Genesis, this one is awesome. After my creatures are healed, they have a chance to move on top of the timeline. Since we trigger a healing basically whenever we attack, it's a chance to move on top of the timeline. I love that. I really, really love that one. So, and the third trait here is basically a mechanic that stops me from killing myself when my creatures are confused. So when they deal damage to each other, they get healed instead. So when confusion kicks in, it doesn't hurt us anymore. It's just cuddles instead of punches. So this dude is necessary to last in longer fights. So whenever we're taking damage, it gets reduced by 5%. Every time 5% more, until we are at 90% after 18 hits. Which is quite a long time, but for longer combats, this is insanely strong. In combination with the stat boosts, you're usually invulnerable due to that. And after people with leeching attack, they gain stats. So this is pretty awesome. And after creatures gain stats, they gain max health, because I love to stack up max health. It's just good to have that. And last dude, giving enemies petrification and snare when they dodge was necessary because my build revolves so much about attacking dudes that dodging is extremely problematic, because whenever an enemy dodges, this skill doesn't go off. An ally only really attacks, obviously, when the when it doesn't get dodged. So that's that. So this is a necessary evil to get resistant against blight, because this only really protect. I only got that to not suffer damage from blight, because when you're blighted, you the healing gets transformed to damage, and this would be too horrible if I'm relying on leech. And last but not least, we're also transforming a part of that maximum health into more stats, because I like that combo, and this is rolling quite decently so far, you know. I just feel as if I am too vulnerable early on. That's my big problem here with that dude. I'm not able to survive scenarios in where the enemy is extremely powerful from the get-go. Health trait looks pretty powerful. The which one? The last one, producing stats out of max health. You meant that? Sure. I like that one too. I was yesterday night flinging so many traits around. I did so many refusions. I really took a long time to get that work. I mean, I'm quite happy so far with it, but I feel as if there's something missing still. Something to kickstart that build. I was wondering whether or not I should keep those Hemomancers. I feel as if these stat debuffing and transferring to my creatures mechanic, I think this is one of the parts that I could... This feels expendable, as long as I get something in that's also very fitting to my strategy. Oh, I didn't talk about the spells that I'm using, so forgive me. We're going to go over the spells real quickly, because this is a pretty nifty part. So we're using Panic Attack. Each of my creatures attack a random enemy for 50% of the normal damage. Really good stuff. Fury Swipes. Target attacks a random enemy creature for 3 times, but each attack only deals 25%. But this does trigger 3 attacks, which means my bat gets 3 AoE surges and 3 times more speed. That's why I keep maximizing the amount of attacks. So, Requiem, well, this is for mass extinction scenarios. I feel as if I really need some healing spells too. That was something that seemed problematic there. And Crushing Impact, creatures to the left and right of the target attack the target. So this is basically 2 attacks for 1 spell. And the macro I'm rolling here is trying to fire these 3 attack spells as often as possible, until the end the creatures ultimately start auto-attacking. Benediction is also really good if you have stats to support it. Well, I'd have to look that up if you'd be so kind to tell me what that does. Party-wide healing. Yeah. Well, the healing portion works out pretty decently, actually. We're pretty well off in that regard. I feel like I'd need something to kickstart my team better. Maybe I'll need to fiddle in 1 or 2 strong creatures that provide something right away from the start of the battle. I was avoiding these yesterday when we talked about that, but now I feel as if this could be actually the solution of my problems. So, why did my Centaur Wrangler cost reincarnation? I didn't configure that. didn't tell him to do that. Oh, I found a Christmas tree. Isn't that a little bit early, game? Well. So, I also unlocked all except for 2 of the new God Realms that have been included with the new update. So, I gained a lot of favor. Treasure from all sources. Princess costume and a Queen Dragon skin. That's good. Ho ho ho. Yeah. So I could stay here, but I'll actually just get the hell out of here. Not every instability realm is made to be grinded out. This one for sure is not. So when do I finally have that one done? Training. It's the last one for my prophecy, isn't it? Yeah. Seems like it's taking forever. Okay. Now, let's see. I didn't have any of these here, so... Oh well. I could socket some healing spell in there, but I see another thing I could do. So I'll remove the rebirth on damage trait on this one because it's really not necessary. And let's see. I'll instead socket in the extra spell gem slots, because this is really good. Because the unicorn is my only life attuned spellcaster, and life. Well, what can I say? There are so many good spells in that school. So sacrifice to the light. Oh yeah. Spell. Shouldn't this be awesome with generosity? Well, determination. Benediction. My creatures recover a massive amount of health. That's what I need. Let's enchant that benediction. Wait a sec here. With generosity. Oh, it can't have any properties. Oops. Let's upgrade that fully so we can do a nice spell, make a nice spell out of that. So, generosity, why not? More charges, and let's see. Potency based on attack. Healing increased by %. Chance to cast after attacking? Probably. Well, that would drain that spell pretty quickly. I don't know if I really want that. No. Potency based on speed. Let's do that. This should be okay. Because I got a perk that basically, whenever I gain any stat, I also gain a portion of speed on top of that. So speed ultimately ends up as the highest stat on every creature sooner or later. So, let's see. This time it should work. I mean, oh no, maximum extra traits. I don't take that one. The limitation on extra traits is horrible. So, let's see. Well, this looks like I can't tackle that. I mean, you never know until you see the hidden traits, but... Okay. So now I got Benediction available as an option for these horrible fights. So, my enemies come always with rebirth. Oh, well, okay. I mean, that's a little bit annoying, but it's not that terrible. There we go. I mean, that extends fights a tad bit, sure, but overall, There are way worse traits, but also it is a pretty annoying trait of the fights, not gonna lie. So should probably consider bringing in Mass Dispo or something fancy like that. Here we go. So we're destroying our enemies way better than with the last example there. So the first wave is always very weak, but after the first couple of panic attacks are firm, the stat gain and all is really kicking in. One thing I don't understand though is that my bat only gains stats in the turn after it has acted. Like when the bat casts the panic attack and makes everybody attack, all these stat gain effects don't influence that bat. It's always like that. The spellcaster of the panic attack doesn't get the proc bonuses from this action. The rest of the team does. It's a really weird thing, and this is by far one of the crappiest nether stones I've ever seen in my life. But at least it's a nether stone. Steel, welcome! So happy to see you. Alright. I was pretty much vibing tonight also for another Factorio stream and go deeper into space exploration, but I don't know. I felt like for some more chill gameplay tonight. And Factorio is always a lot of thinking. And I already did a lot of thinking and making this dude here finally work. And what can I say? I'm so happy that it actually does finally work, you know? Whoa! Look at them die. But the good news is everybody in my team always starts with a rebirth trait. So now the bat should be back up, yeah. So whenever somebody's dead, as long as the unicorn is attacking, he's going to be back on his feet very quickly. This game looks pretty cool. Oh yeah. Last stream was kind of cliffhanger. Yeah. That's a nice way to put it. I was so unhappy. I couldn't even get myself to sleep yesterday. Honestly, I only found a real peace and found real peace and quiet the moment this was finally done. I'm really not gonna over exaggerate again. Wanted to make it work so badly. I had a lot of fun though, admittedly. Yeah, I heard that too, Ari. Just early access is going to be over in early December for Siralim Ultimate. Really happy about that. Yeah, I kept going for quite some time. It was I don't know. I really like what I do here, and it bothered me that I did take such a wrong foundation at the first in the first place, but I learned a lot out of that. I really learned a lot of that. So really hope that the game does still see new content and stuff once it is out of early access though. But I guess. Oh, come on, you. Can you finally die? And there's the rebirth. So this is a pretty annoying set of perks. I was, before tonight's stream, grinding cards. And whenever I go grinding cards, I play without instabilities, because that's just better for my personal sanity. And yeah, this build is really clearing out stuff really quickly by now. If we are not going for any instabilities. This is at this point, this build is similarly stable like my cleric, a little bit less stable. The cleric has more stability early on, but the damage potential of this one is insane. Even if you have unlimited real lives on paper, yeah, there is a soft cap, or well, there's a hard cap on revives. True that. But it's a pretty generous cap, so you really got to stress that out to actually lose it. Oh, a Nihilist card. It's a new card. Let's check that out. The Nihilists have been introduced into the game with the newest update. My creatures' spell gems have a chance to not consume charges. Yum. That's a pretty nice trait. Pikachu, welcome. So that collection slowly starts to stack up. White Banner, Decaying Ear, yuck. It's so demotivating to see the enemies stand up again after you kill them. Okay. That's a decent speed, though. When I started out building that stuff, I was a lot slower. That's true, Hjorn. That's true. Christmas table. Come on, game. It ain't Christmas. First the Christmas tree, now the Christmas table. Did I? Or didn't I? I didn't. I bet I didn't. No. I guess it's just a weird skin, weird color. What we're going to see looks like skin. I think it's just the fuse. Speaking about skins, we have to go into the skin box after this run. I haven't checked out what I found since quite some time now. Oh god, those freaking mimics. It always takes such a long time until you actually start being able to breach their defenses. I mean, we basically just need to keep attacking because at some point my stats should be high enough. What the heck just happened there? Actually. Ah, my creatures did cast reincarnation. Shouldn't that? Why are we dying after stay dead? After an enemy is resurrected. Okay. What an unlucky draw. Okay. So this mimic, he's basically only here to counter every resurrect out there in town. Yeah, I haven't seen that since a while. Okay, so basically I started my own demise when we started to cast that spell randomly. But how the hell can that happen? I mean, I don't have that spell configured on that map. I don't get it. Well, whatever. It's not that important. I mean, usually using that spell is a good idea, so... Because of Rebirth. Well, I haven't configured the usage of that spell, yet they use it when I do macro, when they use that macro. That's really, really weird. Whatever. I wanted to, let's see. Well, do I really want to have that one? Oh, we're going to craft a new dispel. I don't have a sorcery creature, no, I don't. Sad. Dispel, dispel, dispel. There's a good new dispel. Rebirth auto-resurrects your creatures with 50% HP. Yeah, but this whole chain started because my creatures started to use this spell. That was the start of the chain. And I don't know why they started using that. Because that spell kills the creature and then resurrects it, and that triggered that cycle of death. Yeah, that's really weird. I got no clue. Here, Greater Dispel. This is just such a good spell. It's been introduced newly, or maybe I misread something. I mean, but now I gotta check that out. I'm just here. Your Centaur Wrangler costs reincarnation. And at no point did I configure that this dude is supposed to cast that spell. His macro is to use these 3 spells. Okay. I really got no clue what happened there, but it's fine. It's fine. Alright, we're going to go for Generosity and Swap. Because I really want that spell available in all circumstances. So Generosity, and let's go for Death Swap. Got so many death creatures. There we go. Because I guess without... With that spell, the situation wouldn't have even occurred. Okay, let's go. That's a new realm. So now I can cheaply strip the buffs of my enemies without even spending any charges. I don't know, Generosity is such an overpowered trait. In my eyes, at least. Maybe I overestimated, but it's a very cheap way of getting spells on everybody in your team. So let's do a reincarnation. So why the heck do they suffer so little damage? Strong against death, of course. Less damage taken. Heal every turn, 88% health. Hell no. Oh, those hidden traits, they really got me. I mean, technically, I could just sit it out, and at some point, I would always overtopple the enemy there. But I don't know. The percentage loot bonus wasn't even that good there. It was only 106% or something like that. So, this one looks good, though. Whoa. The Valkyrie's going crazy again. Do we have a lot of buffs? Yes, we see a lot of buffs. Boom. I like that. Because that really softens up your enemies a lot. Oh, my bat is dead. So, let's see. I want to check this out in detail. So, your target attacks random enemy. So, let's do that. And it resurrects the bat in no consequence. The bat directly dies again, but who cares? Doesn't really matter. Things are working out as they should, at least. So I wonder how I could get some more initial stability, because I think that this combo of stat gain whenever my dudes leech and stat gain whenever I think there was another stat gainer involved. A sec. What I'm trying to say is I think I don't need that the extra bonuses of the Hemomancers that much. Like, this one is always working for me, and well, okay, probably I do need that. Maybe it's a little bit low without these. Or I need some other mechanic of grinding stats instead of the Hemomancers. But maybe I just need more levels in general. That could be also the case. Because, well, I'm almost level 4,000 on my creatures, and the enemies here are at level 11,500 on average. This could be part of the problem why I'm not able to tackle the next boss. But it bothers me that I'm not able to tackle the next boss. Not even without instabilities. But overall, it's a real nice stacking build, and now I wonder what kind of spells I could smartly use here as well. Wow, those dudes are really, really resilient. Okay, finally. Ah, that was a Nemesis bunch. Okay. Already surprised about imps being such a tough competition. Okay. Yeah, that's more like it. Enemies are just melting after the first spell cast. But on the other hand, maybe 10% stat gain whenever my creatures leech is already all it takes. It's probably also the case. Maybe I don't really need that much more. I mean, the amount of attacks here is pretty massive. Well, or I'll just leave it as it is right now. I have a hard time deciding whether or not those Hemomancers really fit into the picture. I feel as if they don't, you know. Sounds cool on paper to steal enemies' stats when you attack and give them to your buddies. Well, difficult question there. Difficult question there. Wow, those abominations look funky. So let's hammer out some reincarnation here. Oh, that didn't deal any damage. Why are they so tough? Wow. Well, the good news is we're getting tougher as well, so. What does make them so strong here? Nothing, actually. Nothing on this side, at least. Must be something on the enemy side. Maybe the weakness or something like that. I could probably check if there's any spell that doesn't do anything except for massively buffing your speed. That could be a good idea. Because since the bat doesn't gain any stats when it casts the first panic attack, it would be actually better if the bat would do as its first action something that would just give it stats, preferably speed or more smack when it does act first. So let's see if I can find something there. It's actually a good idea. I mean, there has to be some spell that just flat out increases my speed somehow. And I want to kill that stupid next boss. Problem with the next boss is that his trait is that he and all his dudes have all the minions that exist in the game at once, always. So you're fighting against a full-on necromancer, and the problem with that is basically whenever I attack the critters of this enemy, all my dudes explode because there's among all these several effects, there's one that just, if I remember correctly, punishes you with a pretty heavy retaliation damage whenever you attack. That's a problem. What I am not able to break right now, because I basically explode before I gain the massive stats to rely upon. Oh, the mimic. So let's do the dispel. So I think that one that killed me, that was no skin. Just had a funky color because of the fuse. All right. It doesn't really take long though until we got some really decent firing power. So. I mean, the other option would be to just buy some spell to boost up my defensive abilities early on. That would be another option. So let's see, is there anything here that gives me speed? So, I'm gonna be back with the camera in a couple of minutes. But I won't be turning off the stream. So, let's see. I want some good old stat increase. Caster gains stats equal to 5% of its allies' stats. Well, that would be a start, but no. I really like to browse for things in this game a lot. So, well, I wonder in which attribute or in which school their target gains a massive amount of speed. There we go, haste. That's what I'm looking for. Don't need more than that. So we're going to upgrade that one. And of course, I'll have to slap it onto some other creature because I want to spread it with generosity. So who's gonna take that? Definitely some death creature, so we're going to Swap that. Generosity. And let's go for extra potency. Based on what? No, stat percent increased by. Wonderful. Stat plus increased by 50%. Perfect. That's what I like to see. So, let's see. I want to check out what that does for the bat when it just does cast that one. Okay, let's try how horrible maximum extra traits really is. Maybe it ain't that horrible. So, spell leak. That sounds like sorcery to me. Okay. So, haste on himself. And here goes the panic attack. And, oh yeah. Oh, so effing much smoother. Okay, we got to change that up. So, macro number 3 has to have, if this creature has highest speed, cast haste. Let's see. This dude is usually my dude with the highest speed. Or, well, on this creature, yes. So, let's move that line up. If this creature has highest speed, cast haste on this creature. So, I just hope that this dude has the highest speed, but it's looking good. Alright, let's see. If that would work out, that'd be awesome. Because that would boost up my damage by a lot. By a tremendously huge amount. Ooh. So happy to find that many trait resources here. So, macro. Yes, it did cast haste. But, well, I think I have to rewrite that macro nevertheless. The other dude now did cast haste now as well, and that's not what I wanted to have. So let's see. History? They have so many occurrences of 0 gain. It's terrible. So... my Centaur Wrangler cast Panic Attack, okay. And my Unicorn Vivifier casts haste, so no. And this dude casts haste. I think it should be first turn only. Well, I figured that I just have to accept that I'll have to write a macro for my bat specifically. That's okay. We're just going to copy that macro, and hey, you're called macro number 4. Don't do this to me. And I'll just add that haste line. So it worked, so I'm going to stay like that. Yeah, Fireflower, that's true, and I'm so happy about that. The official launch is not far away. I didn't expect that, but I gotta say, it feels like, yeah, definitely a good timing on that one. So, because it's about time, the game feels so complete at this point, so... Alright. Let's see. Burst. Speed is 180k now. And... who did you cast that spell on, you little critter? Your mutated vampire bat casts haste. So... on the Centaur Wrangler. Okay. Gotta rewrite that again. Okay, but... let's see, macros. Edit macro. It can only... okay. So, wait a sec. If li2... let's try it with that one. If li2 is... ah, yeah, that's a good one. Is on turn 1. Cast... haste. Yeah, this is how I'll do it. I'm not too used to this macro menu too much yet. I only recently started to dive deeper into that. It's just that good. Haste on this creature. Let's see. I hope this is right this time, and it shouldn't have been that creature. Well, once you start dabbling into macros, you can really set up basically everything on automatics, and that's why it's so cool. Hey, Hearing, welcome back. So, 207k now. Casting haste. Nah, yeah, okay. This it's not no longer representative. Okay, whatever. Let's hope the bat does cast that spell on itself next time. Alright, so... 180k now. Vampire bat casts haste. 180k after. So... why does that spell go on the Wrangler? Like, seriously, why? So let's see how that'll work out. How much, well, I have to do that manually one time to see how much it should be, basically, you know. Oh yeah. Alright, one more time. So, 220 now. And... oh, so the stat gain doesn't get... you don't see it here. Okay. So everything should work out as intended. I at least hope so. I mean, I had the impression as if the damage was a lot higher, and I think I am right about that, so Okay, so I did do everything correctly. And here goes the punch. Yeah, this is so much more damage. Nice. Yeah, it's perfect that you were distracted a while, Fiorin, so you knew the picture before better than I do. And I think before that, this wasn't nearly as destructive as it is now. Alright, so probably let's macro the heist and cast that Greater Dispel and start smacking. Yeah. I wanted to tweak the damage of the bat a little bit, and haste just adds a massive amount of speed on top of that. Well, the attacks, they don't, well, actually shouldn't do more damage, but well, oh yeah, there's these damage-reflecting fish in there. That's something that I can't handle yet. They keep being an issue. Okay, so what can we do beyond that? Is there any other spell that would resolve any of my issues? So... I mean, another thing would be increasing my defenses. I'm pretty sure that Life Magic has something in store for me. Yeah, I have to install some mechanic to not blow myself up on these anymore, Hjarn. It's disgusting, isn't it? So, my creatures gain a large amount of defense and max health. This would be a pretty decent thing, but let's see if I can't find something else. I mean, we have a lot of new spells after all. I deal with them by using spells. Yeah, okay. I want something more lazy, you know. Yeah, party-wide high damage spells. Charm of Life is also a really neat one. Planets? Well, planets would be good if I had more intelligence. I would need to look for a spell which damages based on speed, because at the end of the day, my skills are all most powerful when based on speed in this particular team. Yeah, that's true. But this would require another slot of those gems, Hjarn. It's better to take something which already has that property, because I think there were a couple of spells that scale off speed. Would be a shame not to use that while I'm on a Windrunner, no? Probably the only class that will ever utilize it. I want something for defense. I'd like to have a spell that only buffs defense in a massive amount. There's only that one here. So, might as well take Determination. Arcane has one of these, you say? Then I'll check it out. Yeah, well, Arcane has some nice utility spells as well. Well, I was looking Arcane up until this one. Oh, did I look them? Oh, well. I'll look them through. Necrotic Armor, you say? I'll check that out right away. Necromantic Armor. Yeah, well, that looks neat. This is very similar to this one. Well, The light version looks a little bit more appealing because it has the max health 1 too. And my team loves max health. So well. Let's look through the nature could be also a case. Well, let's just check it out. Some big amount of defense would be probably a really good thing. So enemies take a moderate amount of damage. 100% of the damage is based on the caster's speed instead of intelligence. So I'll craft one of those. I think there could be better ones than that, but this is one of the spells that I had in mind. So haste is already there. Because you guys are, of course, right. Spells would be a method of countering these dudes that reflect physical stuff. So... I was doubting that a party-wide damage existed that scaled off speed by default. Well, party-wide, that was, I wasn't sure about that neither. I gotta be honest about that. I wanted to check. And it was worth checking. But it's only moderate damage, so, well, but we are massively scaling off of speed. Could be really good, Let's see. Target gains a small amount of defense. No. Class change as well, I don't know. Target gains a massive amount of defense, but that's only single target. Moderate does still 8 million for you. Okay. Wow. It's massive. So I guess life magic seems to win the race here. I could have a massive boost for a single target, but I need something more party-wide. Okay. So we're gonna be picking up the Charm of Life as well. So, upgrade Charm of Life. Yeah, Huron's much deeper than me. But he was also running only a lot. He's running a lot less classes than me, as far as I know. So let's go for Generosity, extra stat increase, and let's go for a potency base on speed. Well, I don't know. Do I need that? Let's add in a chance to cast that twice. I think this is way more interesting. 100% chance to cast that twice. Yeah, that's good. That's really good. So, well, Huron, you're doing things thoroughly, huh? Okay, so let's see. I'm gonna assign a new macro to that dude here. So edit rename macro. Since we can't store 1000 macros, I mean. Add line. If ally 3 is on turn 1. Cast Charm of Life. There we go. It was Charm of Life, wasn't it? I hope it was. Spell gems. Yes, okay. Oh yeah, these there are some classes are really funky as hell. Alright, let's try that out. Why not? The Tribalist, oh yeah. The Tribalist sounds so easy, but actually creating a real kick-ass team with that one is actually pretty difficult. I mean, you can do something okay with him, but doing something really great is pretty difficult. So, your Centaur Wrangler costs Reincarnation. Oh, I did assign a wrong, I didn't assign the correct macro. But still, I keep wondering why he keeps costing Reincarnation. It's not supposed to do that. Okay. Let's resurrect the bat. Why does my bat die instantaneously? Stay dead. Yeah, okay, I expected that. So who has that stay dead here? This dude. This dude has to go. Oh shoot, I really don't deal that much damage, don't I? Well, at least I explode enemies. Stay dead is really a nasty trait for me. But we're just going to stack stats here. So let's see, Benediction kicks in for level 2. Alright. I mean, if everything else fails, my team still works as a quite decent stat pump. And one dude dying all the way down the road looks pretty bad, but I have one critter that actually deals a big AoE whenever somebody gets resurrected, so ain't that bad. So let's put a haste on this dude because he has that skill that procs off of resurrects, so okay. Beaten a stay dead team without my main damage dealer. That's a good sign, it's a good sign, you know. Future Idol, Roth, V8. Wow. Okay. I take that as a big step forward. I think these spells... Oh, I forgot to configure the macro again. I think these spells that boost my team's stats without any other action are a good plan B when I can't attack for whatever reason. This way I can bolster up my strength without exposing myself to damage. This might be actually what we're needing to survive a lot of other things that I couldn't survive yet. Yeah, you do, you are. That's exactly what I did. I unlocked all the classes first, starting from what looked super interesting to what looked least interesting. That was a really enjoyable. Really enjoyable journey. we go. So one of these Charms of Life always will get cast now. I can always bring up more than that. I could also, so let's see. Mutated Batcase casts Haste, Charm of Life. Wonderful, wonderful. So, and now we're doing our thing. So, it's the traits here: less damage dealt, chance to dodge. Okay, yeah, okay, that does explain a lot. So when they have such a high chance to dodge, I always have to hit them first to make the Clutcher petrify them. Once they are petrified, they can't dodge anymore. But with a 74% chance to dodge, there's almost no chance for my dudes to get the job done without such a preparation. That's the word I was looking for. Because the problem here is my bat's skill only will go off if the attack successfully deals any damage, even if it's only 0. But if the enemy dodges that thing, my bat doesn't do its speed-based AoE, and that's the real problem behind dodge. Otherwise, I wouldn't care about dodge, but dodge actually actively negates my biggest pump of damage, and that's not good. So next thing I want to do in the next fight is I want to see who's the third in the turn order, because I want to have that stat booster twice. I just want to have that cast twice. I don't care about that. Every action afterwards will be worth so much more if I have halfway decent stats before I start smacking. So, quite happy to do the fine-tuning here tonight on that stream. Because I really got better at doing the stuff like that. Now, we need another fight so I can see who's the third on the timeline every turn. Because I know who's the second and the first. So it's the Wrangler and the Unicorn Vivifier is the next. So for some reason we're casting reincarnations again. What should be first, lesson and fight? I can't quite follow your question there, I'm sorry. Sorry, am I tired and not understanding the joke? I feel as if. So, those random reincarnations going off at times. Okay. So then it's okay, and I'm just tired. I'm relieved. So, well, this doesn't go too well here. Let's blast them. Okay, so the problem here is the Unicorn Vivifier can't do that spell because it would drain its innate charges, so... Okay. Hi, goodbye. So what happened there? The enemy Imp Shaman casts Dispelling Dervish. So this was just a quick and dirty crit. What's Dispelling Dervish? I have to check that out. This sounds like a strong spell, or it looks like a strong spell to me. So... Sure, moderate amount of damage. Legit. So whatever, we're going to go for the next run there. I mean, I could upgrade those ethereal knives and use them. So the mutant hemomancer would be the next dude capable of casting another Charm of Life spell. Or I'm going to go for Determination because it actually seems to be much more necessary to boost my defenses. Jeez. What's going on here? Extra attack and reflect damage taken. Ah, that's why we're getting a royal spanking here. I see, I see. Okay, let's spam them Requiems. Should be working out too. Ow. Maybe it doesn't work out. Maybe damage reflection is something that I need to find some sort of workaround. Because it is pretty clear that right now, whenever I deal damage, I kill myself. Not cool. So, the Mutant Hemomancer will receive the Macro 5 too, so I'll just have to check out what I want to do for the Unicorn. So maybe I'm going to go for the Necromantic Armor after all, because this can be shared with the Unicorn, and it boosts what I need. So yeah, let's do that. Thanks for the pointer, Hyorin. I would have most likely overlooked that one. So, because in this particular case, this is exactly what I need. So, let's see. We want Generosity, we want increased stats, and we want a chance to cast twice. There we go. Bam. That's the ideal one. So that also means that I need yet another macro, but who cares? There's room for 1,000 of those. So this really makes me itchy if this looks like that. So we're configuring something for. Oh, I just realized this doesn't work like I think it would. I need another macro like that. So let's see. Because I just realized that. Any ally? No. I really need to specify it like that. Planning to modify my build so it can practically work on any class. That sounds sick. Is on turn 1. Cast Charm of Life. And move up that line. So this is basically for this dude. I think I'm going to do a renaming session soon, and this is going to be for ally number 4. I'm so sad that there is no edit line command. This would be really good. So, is on turn 1, cost Necromantic Armor. Oh, this is how you can skip through it faster. Okay, wonderful. The left and right buttons, left and right arrow buttons were what I was looking for. Okay, so This is macro number 7. And let's go. In theory, I only need 1 trait to make all my death-type monsters not use charges as spell gems. Okay. Inhabited by Mogwai race. I have to try that out. Just wanted to ask why to turn everybody into death-type creatures in the first place. So... more charm of life. So will this whole level look like that? Fun. Okay. So they can freely cast without charges, keeping my main utility alive. Okay. So, there we go. Will this whole level be just populated by exclusively that one type of creature? That would be sick. Okay. That team here looks a little bit differently. Oh, I wanted to check out how the new configuration works out. Whoopsie. So, oh, first thing worth noting, the damage reflection doesn't kick me out here. So, I take that as a good thing. Resilience of my build seems to be a lot higher now. Your mutant hemomancer casts Charm of Life. Shouldn't he be done with that already? Is this still turn 1? Are you guys kidding me? Do I have that much turn manipulation by now? Okay, so basically I wouldn't have thought that I'd be able to actually survive here from the looks of the table. But yet still here I am. Okay. So, and beyond that, yes, this seems to be exactly what's happening here. Mob-wise, all the way. So... but they're blasting them each other pretty quickly. So I was wondering, yeah, I got reincarnation on his artifact, so that's why it keeps triggering all the time. So I got no clue how to activate it, but for some reason it seems to activate. Wolfio, hi there! Happy to see ya. So let's see. I want to let that build go according to plan for once. Everybody casts their spells. But I can't have a lot of dead people in the roster right now. So, okay. I mean, I'm more than surprised that I'm surviving in a high damage reflection environment like that. Yeah, well, more or less that is. Okay. But overall, I think older configurations of this build would have been instantaneously nuked here, so I'd say we're in a pretty good spot here. I mean, the good thing is that I got this dude that does AoE damage whenever I resurrect somebody. This is a really good counterweight to the other mechanic. So basically, when my build is dominating, I do damage by spreading out small AoEs by attacking. So everybody attacking triggers an AoE of that bat. This is what's good when I'm dominating. And when I'm on the losing side, that damage while resurrecting is extremely valuable because it is a really good way of fighting back while your back is against the wall. I really like that one. Heretic Blood. Your creature's death spells now cost 20% health and don't consume any charges. Oh, we were talking about that trait a while ago. I can't remember that one. You were utilizing that a lot. But you're absolutely right, yeah. When you're just transforming everybody into everything into death spells. Yeah. Oh, then I've mistaken that. I'm sorry. But you're planning to, I see. Sounds like something blood mages would like to use, you know. So, well, I'm absolutely surprised that we're getting along here. Nice. Whoa. This does look a little bit scary though, doesn't it? But overall, it only looks scary. It's actually working out super decently. I'm just slowing down to make sure that I don't get kicked down. Because it's a pretty interesting level to be in with all those Mogwai. This is for sure one freak catastrophe of level. Okay. Oh, that was a Nemesis team. Didn't even realize. So... Mogwai rank C. It's always nice to have levels where you can acquire a lot of knowledge of exotic enemies. Because this way you can easier hunt them or well, it makes them more accessible in each regard. And also such a level has a very high chance of spawning skins. Wow. I'm quite surprised how well everything's going here right now. Because this realm is pretty bad for me overall. So yeah, I think the next logical step in the evolution of this build would be to replace these two Hemomancers with something more fitting to my build. I need something that emphasizes into more resilience early on, because I really need to just stay alive long enough and then everything else will be fine. And at the same time, well, ideally these new parts should also be providing some stat gain, because I'm removing some stat gain here as well. Let's see how well I can do that, but for now, I'm happy. Happily killing Mogwais. Blindfold. Kinky. I'm so surprised about the sheer amount of costumes in this game. It's quite insane. Book of Nine Tails. How much item find do we have here? 134. It's actually quite obscenely low for such a difficult environment. But, well, depends on the build, I suppose. So I want to get out of here as quick as possible. So let's start focusing on the scrolls. As long as you can regen more HP, cost should be good, yeah. Well, it's definitely a good thing to pay your spells with HP, because getting methods of healing is really a lot easier than getting spell gem charges, you know? That's the basic idea behind that, I guess. And where are those parchments? Venedon. Where did you leave them? My dude. Oh, here. So, Forge is ready for turning. Oh, Training is finally ready for turning. And Land of Breath and Balance. So, I just realized that I skipped actually 2 new realms. Jeez. Okay. So, let's start a new Forge. Speed training is also something that I like. And yeah, the last realm here, guys. The last realm. I want to do scratch cards. Slots, scratch cards. Because, you know, full prophecy cards, that's always a fun thing to hit. Okay. So, lots of piety, but nothing too special, hey? Alright. So, I wanted to see what kind of quests I now need. So, treasures, pilgrimage, so there's always something, so let's go for one of the new ones, 4080. Why not? Then, how many pilgrimages? One only, okay. Looks like that's all. No, there's another training mission. But, well, the training missions, I actually want to keep them going as much as possible because I really can use that a lot for speed scrolls. Okay, so let's go for a new adventure. Didn't I want to bring something on the next trip again? I'm pretty sure I wanted to, but I have no clue again what that was. Oh, now I want, so now I know what it was. So the Gambler's Hive and the Land of Breath and Balance. These 2 realms I want to pay a visit now. Reclusa. Okay. What the... Why is my Unicorn Vivifier now highest on the timeline? It doesn't have more speed. That's weird. Well. As long as the spells go off, it's just fine. So. Enemies have a chance to resist damage in general. They're strong against death and sorcery. Okay. It's a little bit unfortunate, but... Alright. Them guys are going wild. But so do we. But I don't know why this, well... There's salamanders involved. and 4 extra traits on the enemies. That could have been everything. Salamanders have automatic spell casts like crazy, and I do like that instabilities can blow me up like that, though. It's fun to be hit like some from the side from something like that at times. So there's extra traits again. So the additional attacks and casts are totally harmless for me. Let's see. Well, why are 3 of these not taking any damage whatsoever? So I really didn't understand why. So intercepts. Okay. That one dude intercepts a lot of the damage the whole squad would take. But going on with this realm, those freaking extra traits. It's just annoying to no end to have that line. It adds in so much uncontrollable chaos, I think. Or I feel as if it was that less speed is also intolerable. Here, chance to resist damage. Let's see. Come on, guys. Give me a ride at the Gambler's Hive. That doesn't suck. So, chance to dodge, less damage taken, but nothing that should shoot me out of the water that easily. Except for one Spark Tail again. So... hello? Well, it seems like this realm maybe includes a lot of enemies that are just particularly strong against my team. Or am I just rolling one unlucky thing after another? Because so far... oh, well, let's go for a Mass Dispel. These dudes, they have a lot of buffs going on their side. That might be an issue. So... let's go for a Benediction here. And maybe some more buff stripping here. I mean, we're not keeling over at this point, at least. But also, it doesn't look that good. I mean, I'm not too surprised there's Valkyries and Sparktails involved. Those are both really good enemies at countering offensive builds, in general. Oh, I didn't mean to go for another Benediction. Can we now please take down these dudes instead of spamming unnecessary buffs and all? Thank you. What up, dude? Why you're still alive, man? You're supposed to be dead already. So, let's blow you up with a reincarnation. But what the hell? Why do all these effects not hit him? Or stare? Strange. Ow. Yeah, because they... No. That's also not. I thought it was a chance of avoiding damage altogether, but that's... No, I really don't get it why these guys were avoiding damage altogether in the first place. So this realm definitely doesn't seem to be my sweet spot. There's a lot of buffing going on the enemy side here again. I wonder, well, these are new enemies. I haven't seen these moth-like critters before. Luckmantrias, considering that I'm at the Gambler's Den. Sounds like they are part of the show here. Maybe they are the actual reason for my struggle. Seriously, are these critters tough? Yeah, it looks totally weird. There we go. Well, we have to slay a couple of them, Hyorin, to understand how they work. Okay. Right. Yeah, that extra dodge slows down everything quite nastily. And I think the Hemomancer should actually not be buffing my team. I feel as if my bat is always dead if I wait for that point. But maybe I'm wrong about that, I don't know. Or maybe my Centaur shouldn't be doing that. Maybe maybe the second move should always be an attack. Difficult to say. Alright. But for some reason, this place is just, well, less damage taken. Almost 50% damage reduction on the enemy side. So... Oh, and I'm at the Nether boss level. Okay, never mind. Let's get out of here. I want to see that other realm too before I get it, before I go offline. So, Writhlings. Less attack damage. That shouldn't bother me too much. But let's see. Oh, I didn't read the intro text. Oh no. So, let's see. Enemies are dying much quicker. That's good. What did Writhlings do again, Hyorin? I totally derped out on that. Okay, it's looking good though. So considering that these dudes have 242% extra health, they give you a random debuff every time you cast a spell. Okay. I see. Yeah, my dudes had a lot of debuffs there. Okay. This place is looking really fancy. well, I think what I really need right now is also to just buff up my team a little bit harder and grind some more levels, basically. Because I really feel as if this could have been a reason why I was struggling with those nether bosses lately so hard. Because I was really progressing, like, I don't know, the last 150 or 200 depth levels in one go without ever leveling back up again. Being high level could solve a lot, yeah. Yeah, I was planning to grind out some cards, you know? Just chill and do some divination divination candle grind. Also brings up resources for new classes to play around with. But I'm getting really more and more happy with this one here. I'm not sure about these stat boosters, if I really want to keep them like that. Or, well, I think it would be better to have the Centaur Wrangler do the panic attack in the first place. Are you going to try and ascend one soon? Well, I haven't decided yet which one I really like. That's the big issue here, you know? And since it's quite a lot of work to ascend a class, so the honest answer to your question is no. Not soon. But well, I gotta admit, I'm one of that kind of players that I just need to have all these different experiences. I want to know how all these classes work. I'm way too curious to see all those perks and try out the different approaches, and yeah. That does, of course, come at the cost of not being ascended on any class or really deep down the road with any particular build. But well, I really like how this game gives you a lot of different ways of playing it. Well, someone could argue we both dove very deep into the content. That's true, that's true. I mean, I really like when a game provides that much depth that two people that really invest a couple of 100 hours into the game end up with totally different journeys into that system and end up at totally different points of that system as well. So, quite frankly impressed. This game has enough depth to compete with a lot of AAA titles out there. Even though it would need, of course, to have a lot more, I don't know, carrots on a stick to keep the average player happy. It would need a severe rework to be mass compatible, and then it wouldn't be the lovely Siralim Ultimate I love anymore. Quite tragic, but... Whoa, guys! Keep it down. This is why I have Rebirth as a starting perk on my dudes always. But I don't think this will save me here. Maybe I get to act before everything goes south. I mean, we basically killed everybody before I get to act another time. Yes, we did. Not basically, we actually did. Okay. Turn one wrecked. Yeah. Is provoking just a taunt? Basically, yes, Wolfio. Basically, yes. How much the high definition 3D remaster of this game? Yeah. Yeah. And the sound design alone, you know. You'd need to have a uniquely fleshed out sound design for every single of the thousands of monsters. Of course, you'd need that. So let's do one. Well, actually, it's good that this dude doesn't go for panic attack here. Actually, ain't that bad, man. Well, whatever. It's a good game, but too complicated for the masses that prefer shoot and go. Exactly, the complicated side of this game is massive. Yeah, in its basics, provoke is only a taunt, but you can modify it extremely. Well, well. So I'm quite sad to say that it's again time to turn down the stream for me. CDDA, for example, is one of my favorite games, but I can never explain it to some. I'm doing a tutorial series for this one, and I can say it's one of the more difficult tutorial series I do because it requires a lot of research whenever I go for a new topic. So I can agree with you. It's a pretty complicated one. So, my friends, I thank you so much for the good company. I hope you had a good time as well. And let's see where we're going to end up tomorrow again. So, have a good time, everybody, and see you soon.